All right, welcome here to the next episode of Phoenix Rising Live. It's always a pleasure and privilege for me to be hosting these transmissions. And the title of this episode is Getting Out of the Box, or Getting Out of the Boxes that people place us within. It's a challenging scenario because in our pursuit of being human is the endeavor of looking for connection with others, looking for connection with like-minded people, looking for connection with people whom we can relate, looking for a greater depth of emotional connection with someone special in our lives, to have a experience of growth and transformation at a more intimate and deep level. And through the endeavor of looking to connect with people, the number one challenge is people having their own perceptions, their own worldviews. And that can come across in many different ways. It can come across in communication, verbally, with ideas being shared. But predominantly, it comes across vibrationally, energetically. And if you're attuned, if you're sensitive to vibrations, if you're paying attention to the energetic dynamics between you and another human being, whether it be a personal or professional relationship, you can feel whether it's a liberating experience for you, an expansive experience for you, or if it's debilitating, if it's crushing you in some way, shape, or form. And the higher frequency you're functioning at, the more quickly you'll notice it. So if you notice that you're in a situation and suddenly your spirit is being crushed, or there's some level of suppression, or there's some level of incompatibility, it's often best to move on from that communication because there's nothing really to be discovered there. You can look to rearrange it from different angles and put those boxes in different corners of your metaphorical house of your mind, if you will. But it's kind of equivalent to moving around furniture in a burning house. What does that mean? It means it may temporarily look better and it may temporarily bring some form of ease. It'll never be total relief, but inevitably that house is burning down. And so what's the point of that? What's the point? You owe it to yourself to simply say, hello, this is not working for me, and therefore I must move on in a different direction. And it's got nothing to do with the other person. It's all about you. It's nothing personal. It's simply that the vibrations are not aligned. And that doesn't diminish their worth. That doesn't diminish their value. And it doesn't mean that anything's wrong with them. And it doesn't mean that anything's wrong with you. It simply means that the vibrational compatibility is not present and that it's time to move on. And that this is really important to acknowledge in yourself, because the more you hang on to things, the more you explore them, the more you attempt to make them fit, when you deep down internally in your intuition know that they simply won't work, well, what's the point of that? So consider that to yourself, is to think, what am I spending my time doing? What is my purpose here? Is it to acquiesce? Is it to people please? Is it not to come across as being mean and uncompassionate, discompassionate, whatever the term is, whatever the word is? Because people may interpret it that way. Now, if you're fully in alignment here, they likely won't, because you'll find an elegant way to communicate what you're experiencing, what you're feeling, in order to move in a different direction. However, still, you must be in a position to accept that people may not fully respond to you in the way that you'd prefer. They may take it personally. That's okay. That's their prerogative. That's their response. Their response isn't your response, and it has nothing to do with you. So the spiritual journey is very non-personal. It's all about, what is your soul looking for? How is your soul looking to develop and grow? And simultaneously, you're looking for those opportunities to serve, to express compassion, to express appreciation, to express love. But it must be coming from a place of higher authority. It must be coming from a place of total self-honesty and integrity, Otherwise, it's lacking something, and you can feel when you're in that space. So it's important to honor yourself, honor your own body and mind, honor your own spiritual journey by just being true to yourself. And it's not something that can be explained. It's not necessarily logical. It's not something that'll necessarily make sense to the linear mind. But if you just don't feel the vibe, you just don't feel the vibe. And that's okay. You can move on. You can decide what's best for you. And it's much better to be in your own vibrational state with yourself than it is to acquiesce to others' perspectives, other people's worldviews, as well-intentioned as they may be, as positive as they may be. If it doesn't fit for you, it doesn't fit for you. And that's the journey, by the way. I'm not necessarily saying about detoxifying yourself from negative vibrations. That's a given. We talk about that often. But what happens on your journey is you start attracting really positive experiences. But you may recognize that even how positive those experiences may be, they still don't fit in with your path. And so these may not be negative people. And that's where your empathy has to keep its place, has to maintain a balance point. Because if that empathy turns into sympathy, or you overextend yourself, or you want to be nice, nice meaning that you're really not serving yourself first. You're not serving your soul mission first. Because that's why you're here, to serve your soul. That's the whole purpose of your body, is to serve your soul. And if you start thinking of it that way and viewing it that way, then you recognize, wait a second, is what I'm doing truly in alignment with my soul? Or is it taking away? Is it diminishing? Is it crushing me? Do I have to be less than the way I normally am in order to fit into this vibration? And it's no one's fault. It's not your fault. It's not their fault. It's simply that it just doesn't fit. And if it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit. So you can make it that simple in your life. And be kind about it. Communicate it. Be gentle. Be compassionate. But simultaneously, maintain your stance. Maintain your authority in being true to yourself. Because if you're not being true to yourself, then you're not being true to anyone else either. And from that standpoint, you're not even really in a relationship with these other people, whether it's personal or professional. If you're not being true to you and you're trying to please them, you're trying to be someone else, you're being of disservice to you and to them. And what's the point? So the endeavor here is to look within, have honesty, have integrity, have gratitude, have humility for where you are. That will allow you to shed away the shadow energy, the negative thought patterns, and that'll allow you to step into this higher vibrational plane, this fifth dimensional consciousness where you are fully expanded, experiencing your fullest potential as a human being. What it means to be human is far beyond what we are conditioned to believe. We have many gifts, many blessings, and we will begin to unveil these more and more over the next couple of years. And if you're part of this community, Phoenix Rising United, or any of the affiliated communities we have, then you know this is true. You've been experiencing it. You've been feeling it. The time is coming where we're turning up the volume on that. We're truly accelerating at a greater rate of speed and coming into these vibrational planes of existence that we ultimately prefer and are aligned with. However, it requires that you must let go of the vibrations that are not serving you. Going through the eye of the needle implies that going through that smaller space requires you to let go of the baggage that you may have been carrying, that you most likely have been carrying in order to fit through. And not everyone's coming with you. And so the idea of knowing someone for a reason or a season or a lifetime means not insisting on what a particular relationship means. It may last for a single conversation, and that's perfectly fine. And you can move on knowing that you're now opening the door to receive greater conversations, greater connections, so that you can create the win-win scenarios, the collaborative endeavors required in order to manifest your heaven on earth, the version of reality that you prefer to live in. That is your divine right, your natural inheritance. You have all the resources, all the support in order to grow outside of the box. Being in the box is a part of the evolutionary process. Inevitably, you open up that and you realize there's so much more here for me. And then you can celebrate, because that is the journey we are on, of connection, creation, and celebration, here together, igniting our passion, rising from the ashes, being the best version of whom we are. And I appreciate all of you tuning in to this episode, to this transmission. Today we had an exemplary experience in the Phoenix Rising Masterclass. I hope that you join us next Sunday. And of course, on Wednesday, I'll be hosting my 2 classes, the Quantum Goal Activation class in the afternoon at 2 p.m. and in the evening at 9 p.m., both Eastern Time. And you are welcome to join then and gain the experience of greater freedom, gain the experience of greater alignment. It's what you deserve. You are worthy to know who you truly are. You are worthy to know that connection to the divine, to source power, and express yourself in the most creative and abundant way. And there is no reason to ever suppress that. The only thing that suppresses you are your own beliefs. And you have the opportunity and the tools and the resources to explore them. You have the community to look within and realize that you don't need to limit yourself any longer. There are many people here waiting to hear your voice, waiting to share in your gifts, and the time is now. So join me in this endeavor. Please reach out to me to register for the next Phoenix Rising Masterclass. Go to phoenixrisingmasterclass.com. If you'd like my support, if you'd like to chat, please reach out. I am here for you, building my community one member at a time. Much love and appreciation to you all, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.